So here we are. What Negroes need to know about Donald Trump, man. All right? What Negroes need to know about Donald Trump. So first and foremost, Negroes need to know that Donald Trump is spoken of in the Bible, right? Um, that's it. See you guys. Um, Happy Shabbat. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Peace. No, that's not it. Negroes need to know that Donald Trump is spoken of in the Bible, man. And so let's explore the scriptures to see what the scriptures have to say about him. All right. Let's go to Daniel chapter 8 and we'll read verse 26. From verse 15, actually, to verse 26. Sister Kira, can you pull that up for me, please? Not pull it up, but read it. Are you able to?
Sir,
Okay, great. From 15 to 26, right? And let's pay very careful attention because this is one of these deeper studies, okay? This is not milk, all right? This is meat, right? For people who are already used to the basics of the scriptures. Now we'll mention some of the basic scriptures as we go through just for proof and for those who, this might be their first video. So we'll mention some scriptures for their reference, but this is a hard food, man, right? So some things may sound strange, but as we go through the scriptures, everything should become clear. And of course, if you have questions after, you can go ahead and ask them. If you have doubts, that's normal, okay? Sit with the scriptures and see what's what, right? Go ahead. From verse 15. If you're speaking, can't hear you, sis.
sorry about that.
It's all good.
And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Uli, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid, and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, Understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall for at the time of the end shall be the vision.
Well, when?
For at the time of the end shall be the vision.
Take careful note of that, right? The man says at the time of the end shall be the vision. All right. So the vision he's getting is not for, just tomorrow, right? And as we go throughout the scriptures, we're going to give more and more proofs to show you that this is talking about at the end of the world. This is talking about our present time, right? We'll prove that through the scriptures. So go ahead. Verse 18.
Now, as he was speaking with me, I was in deep sleep on my face toward the ground. But he touched me and set me upright. And he said, Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time, for at the time appointed, the end shall be.
So again, he reiterates telling Daniel, hey Daniel, I'm gonna let you know what's gonna happen in the last end of the indignation. What indignation, right? Let me pull it up, right? I believe it's Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom saith we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of armies, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. Who's called the border of wickedness? Edom. And the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. So the angel said, I'm gonna let you know what is the last end of the indignation. The indignation against who? The indignation against Esau, man. The Edomites. I'm gonna let you know how I'm gonna fulfill my indignation, which is my anger, my resentment, my affrontment to, right? How my discontentment with Edom, man. I'm gonna let you know how it's all gonna go down, right? Go ahead. So as we listen here, we know the context is the Most High is telling you how he's gonna destroy Edom, man. What's gonna happen for him to fulfill his anger against the Edomites? This is what we're reading about here, right? So go ahead, sis.
The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter of time, and in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people and the holy people.
Mm-hmm.
And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
Mm-hmm.
He he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but shall be broken without hand. And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days.
For it shall be for many days, right? So we're gonna spend a little time analyzing this piece of information or this section of scripture because there's a lot in here, right? So the Most High told you he sent an angel to tell Daniel how he was gonna or what was gonna happen um during the fulfillment of his anger against the Edomites. And then he goes ahead and gives Daniel those passages that we just read. He keeps saying, you know, this is gonna happen in the latter days, and gives us a bunch of other information. So we're gonna go through it. When we look at verse 23, he says, a king of fierce countenance gonna rise up, right? In the latter time of the kingdom. Whose kingdom? The Greek kingdom. Remember, this indignation is against Edom. So now we can see um, the first clue that the Most High is calling the Greeks Edomites. Malachi 1:4 showed us that because the indignation is against Edom, right? And now here he's telling you, here's what's going to happen with the Greeks. So he says, in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors, the Most High call them transgressors, we're going to go into that a bit later. When they come to the full, all right, so their sins have to come to the full, okay, before they get their judgment. He says, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. Let's read 1 to 12. because Daniel 1 to 12, before you go there, and 8 to 21, 1 to 12, and then 21 to 23, let us know that the king will be a descendant of the Greeks. Okay? Um, Daniel 8, 1 to 12 specifically talks about a certain Greek king destroying the holy people and removing the daily sacrifice. So let's look at that, right? Let's get verse 1 to verse 12. KK, let me get that from you there, please. KK, are you there? You available?
Yes.
All
Which
right.
one again?
Read verse 1 to verse 12, please.
In the third year of the region of King Belshazzar, Belshazzar,
Belshazzar, yeah.
a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel. After that which appeared unto me at first. At the first.
You're reading all the way till verse 12. Go ahead.
And I saw a vision, and it came to pass when I saw that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Elam.
Good line.
Then I lift up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there what stood before the river a ram which had two horns, and the two horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and higher came up last.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the ram pushing western and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will and became great.
Right, so stop right there. I want you guys to note in your minds that the Most High said when the ram started pushing westward and northward, no beast could stand before the ram. Right now, later on, I believe in verse 18, we're gonna find out that the ram was the kings was talking about the kings of Media and Persia, right? Which is called, the Medo-Persian Empire, right? And the beasts that were not able to stand up against them were other nations. So I want you guys to note in your mind here that sometimes the Most High refers to nations as beasts. And as we go throughout this study, you're going to see that he calls a certain nation the beast, the principal beast, man, right? When he says the beast, he's talking about the one that rules them all, you know, the worst of the beasts. Because here we see this says that the ram, no beasts with an S, a plural, could stand up before the ram. And later on, we find out the ram is a nation. These other beasts then would also be nations. All right, and we have more scriptures on that as we go through. You're going to see them. So the ram became great. The ram became the I think it's the Achaemenid or Medo-Persian Empire. Um, yeah, Achaemenid, also called the Achaemenid Empire. Okay. So it says they were pushing westward and pushing northward, right? The Median Persia, the Medo-Persian Empire. This is the Iranian, and I forgot who the Medes are. Those are Japhites. The Medes are Japhites. So the Persians and the Japhites had an entire empire, man, right? The Japhites are so-called Asian people. They worked with the Iranians at a point in time, man, right? Because they owned all this as well. All this northern land was their land, and Esau took it from them by war and deceit. So they've always had a bone to pick with Esau, man. So they had a whole empire, and this is it, right? So they were pushing westward. They came from the east, and they were pushing westward, okay? Even getting Jerusalem, and they were pushing northward as well. So they pushed west, they got Jerusalem, which is in Judea. They got Egypt, and they pushed northward and got Lydia, Armenia, Thrace. Okay, these are places in Greece. Okay, Cyprus, right? All these places they got. Okay, let's see here. Read on. Read on. Verse
And
5.
I was considering,
And as
behold,
and as I was considering,
behold, and he goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and
right? So hold on. So Daniel says, as he's looking, he saw a he goat, man, a goat, a male goat coming from the west, and he came to the face of the whole entire world, right? And we looked at this in other studies already that this is the so-called white man. But we're gonna, you know, go through the precepts and it'll make it pretty clear. Go ahead.
touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.
Right. The goat had a notable horn between his eyes, right? And when we jump down to, verse uh, I believe it's down here, one second. Down here in verse 21, the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king, man. So the goat, which verse 21 tells us is the king of Grecia or Greece, says the goat is the king of Greece and the great horn is the first king. And we learn from First Maccabees 1:1 that the first king is Alexander the Great. Okay? So when it says here in verse 5, the goat had a notable horn between its eyes, the goat, of course, being the Greeks, the Greek nation, and the notable horn being Alexander the Great, man, the hero of the Edomite man, right? The so-called white man's hero, man. Ask any Edomite about Alexander the Great. They start gushing, Oh, he was such a great conqueror. He conquered the world. Alexander. Oh, my nephew's name's Alexander, and my niece's name is Alexandria. I wanted to give them a name of greatness. What great oppression, man. You know. Anyway, read on verse 7.
And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with
Caller,
against him,
caller.
choler against him, and smote the ram,
Mm-hmm.
brake his two horns.
Right.
And there was no power in the ram to stand before him.
Mm-hmm.
But he cast him down to the ground and
Mm-hmm.
stamped upon him.
Mm-hmm.
And there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand.
deliver the ram out of his hand. So the goat came and destroyed the ram. The Grecians came and destroyed the Medo-Persian Empire, man, the Achaemenid Empire. They didn't kill everybody, obviously, because the Persians, the Iranians, and the Medes, the Asians are still here, man. But they stamped them down, meaning they got rulership over them. And after the Achaemenid Empire was the empire of the Greeks, man, under Alexander the Great. Read on.
Therefore, the goat, the
The he goat
the he goat
waxed.
um waxed very great, and
Hmm.
when he was strong, the great horn was broken,
Hmm.
and before it came up four notable ones towards the four winds of heaven.
Right, and this exact account is in First Maccabees, the first chapter. If you read from verse 1 all the way down to at least verse 10, right? And if you want to, yeah, basically from 1 to 10, it's between 7 and 10, the straight up point, right? And this great horn, Alexander being broken, of course, it means that Alexander the Great died, as we see in the book of Maccabees. And then the four notable horns that came up after him were the four kings, okay? And the four winds of heaven that they went towards are the four directions, the four cardinal directions. They went north, they went south, they went east, they went west. These horns have names. They were Antigonus, Cassander, Seleucid, and Ptolemy. Uh, yeah, and Ptolemy, man. These are the four kings, that came out of Alexander the Great. And they warred over the Edomite kingdom, man, in a set of wars called the Wars of the Diadochi. Wars of the Diadochi, Wars of Alexander's successors, man. Series of conflicts fought between the generals of Alexander the Great, known as the Diadochi, over who would rule his empire following his death. I think it names the people here. Let's see here. I mean, I know it names them. I just don't want to spend too much time on this. Um, Generals who had supported Perdiccas were rewarded in a partition of Babylon, becoming satraps. Ptolemy received Egypt. Laomenon received Syria, Phoenicia. Nope, this is where is. Let me just ask for his four generals. Okay. Alexander's four generals. Just want to kind of quickly get, you know, the information. All right. So here from homework study, they let you know Ptolemy, Cassander, Seleucus, and Antigonus, or it's Antigonus. Okay. Up here as well, you get the same information. Um, Ptolemy, Cassander, Seleucus, and Antigonus, man. So, I mean, this is Black history, man. This is real history, right? The scriptures are real. It deals with reality. These are people that history does not deny. And they're all over the scriptures, man. In prophecy, being called Edomites, you know. So don't let nobody fool you, man. This Bible is our book. And the book, the words written in it, um, is our history. And we have our history from creation to the end of the time of the well, really to the end of the world. We have our history and we have our present and we have our future. We got the whole thing. We got the whole story, man. And all the historical records do is fill in some of the details that were not pertinent to the purpose of the scriptures. You know, all praise to the Most High. Our history is not lost. You know, we're not Africans. Our people are not lost in that we know where we came from, we know where we are, and we know where we're going. Those of us who desire to, which unfortunately is only a few, right? And we can tell all who are humble, willing, and willing the truth of the world, man, and wake them up from the deep sleep that they're in. But we first must hold the line as the army of Yahweh, man. Especially you men, man. You know, don't let the sisters be stronger than you spiritually, man. You're shaming your God and your Messiah and your purpose, man. You know, and to the sisters, hey, hold the line and the order strictly, man. Like Esther, right? For these things are your strength. The men are the front line of this spiritual war, and the sisters are the second line of the spiritual war. The children are the third line of the spiritual war, man. You know, and the sojourners are the fourth line in the spiritual war. Yahweh Shai, the general, and the king, Yahweh. Where are we? The horn wax exceeding great, and they went toward the pleasant land, of course, being Jerusalem. And I just showed you guys on the map, they even took Jerusalem. Okay? Read on, verse 10. KK? All right, I'll read. It says, and it waxed great even to the host of heaven. That is the goat, okay? The Edomites. They waxed great even to the host of heaven. They cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground. The host, meaning the army of the Most High, the stars, the tribes, okay? They cast down some of them to the ground and they stamped upon them. And again, the same account is in First Maccabees, the first chapter all the way to the fourth chapter. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. So I wanted to bring this out because we're looking at the clues that the Most High gives us to determine who is this king of fierce countenance that he's talking about. Well, these are the deeds of this king of fierce countenance. He's supposed to magnify himself even to the prince of the host, meaning the ruler of the armies, um, meaning the ruler of the armies of the Israelites. And then he's supposed to take away the daily sacrifice. And he's supposed to cast down the place of the sanctuary of the Most High God. Now, this is talking about a very specific person. Does anyone know who this is talking about? Before you answer, I'm going to read 12. It says, and an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression. Meaning what? This man was given an army against the temple. The daily sacrifice happened at the temple. Why was he given an army? By reason of transgression. Does the Most High promise anywhere in the Bible that if we transgress his commandments, he's going to destroy us by war? Is there anywhere in the Bible where the Most High promises that if we break his commandments, he will destroy us by war? And if so, where? I'm asking you guys. Going once, going twice. All right. So the Most High specifically tells us in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, man, that if you transgress against his commandments, from verse 15 on down, it's going to punish you, man. And one of the things he's going to do is send troops against you, man, to enslave you. And this has kept happening throughout history, right? So this is why here in verse 12 it says, a host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression. So the Most High is not a madman. He didn't just do this for doing its sake. The Israelites were in sin, man. Our people were not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. It says, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. The he-goat did that. And then you had a specific ruler among the he-goats, among the Greeks, among the so-called Edomites who did that. And that was Antiochus Epiphanes or Epiphanes the fourth. And you can read about him in First Maccabees, chapter 1, chiefly, all the way down to chapter 4. So going back to Daniel 8, down here in verse 23, if we analyze, we see it says, in the latter time of the kingdom, when the transgressors come to the full, a king of fierce countenance will rise up. It said the king will be a descendant of the Greeks. Again, we know this to happen under Antiochus Epiphanes. What you'll see, anyway, I'll save that. Then in verse 26, it tells us that this vision is supposed to occur in the distant future. So if the vision is supposed to occur in the distant future, why am I pointing you guys to an Edomite that existed in, I think it's between 167 in 167 BC. Why am I telling you guys about that guy if the vision is for many days? As it says here, and the vision of the evening and the morning, which was told is true, wherefore shut down the vision, it shall be for many days. If this particular king of fierce countenance is supposed to be far in the future, why am I telling you guys about Antiochus Epiphanes? But we're going to get the answer as we go through. So-called scholars, let's look at the notes here. So-called scholars date Daniel to 200 BC, all right? Because they don't believe in prophecy. We, however, know for certain that Daniel's book was written during the Babylonian captivity of the fifth century, because, like the righteous saint says, because Daniel is a righteous saint, man. He's not gonna lie about when he's having the vision. All right. The most I tell you spiritual things, he said the carnal man cannot understand spiritual things because they are spiritually discerned. Esau is a carnal man. So he's gonna say, oh, because of the style of the writing, it's no later than 200 BC. And he's gonna stand on business until another Edomite gives enough evidence to say, well, according to archaeological evidence, uh, this book was written in 300 BC. And then that'll be the truth until another Edomite comes with enough evidence, and so on and so forth, right? This guy has no clue what's going on. He's just giving you his best guesses as time goes on. Praise Yahweh, we have the book of truth telling truth. So anyway, the book of Daniel was written during the Babylonian captivity of the 5th century BC. Okay. But just to humor the Edomites, we'll go with their dates. Remember, what we're talking about is this. The vision is supposed to occur in the distant future. Okay. So if we use their dates of 200 BC, what is a distant time from 200 BC then? What is a distant time from 200 BC? Well, Daniel 8:25 is the key. And it tells us that this king it's talking about in the scriptures is actually going to fight Yahushai, the prince. Therefore, the distant time has to be in the last days. Does that add up? Does that make sense to people? When we read Daniel 8:25, it says, through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. You guys hear that? He's also going to stand up against the prince of princes. So the distant time that it's talking about, that the future, that the vision is for, is in the last days, and specifically the end of the last days, because that's when Yahushai will fight the enemies of Israel. You know. Also, whatever king this is, he must do all these things. He must cause craft to prosper in his hand. He must destroy the mighty and holy people. And then, as we mentioned before, he must fight Yahushai. I'm going to say that again. Wherever this king is, he must cause craft to prosper in his hand. He must destroy the mighty and holy people. And he must fight Yahushai. Okay? So now we have 4 major points. The king is a Greek, i.e. an Edomite descendant. According to Daniel 8:28, the destruction done by the king is a great distance from the 5th century BC, okay? i.e. it's in the last days. According to Daniel 23, it must occur in the latter time of the kingdom of the Greeks, 8:23, and in the latter time of their kingdom. Whose kingdom? The kingdom of the Greeks. When the transgressors are come to the full, that's when the king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences is going to stand up. And then fourthly, the king must fight Yahushai. All right. So if we investigate these major points, we can start to see which king this is talking about. Right. So with these 4 points, we got to ask ourselves a question. Is this referring to one particular king, or a succession of kings, i.e., rulers in the same kingdom? What do you guys think? Is this is these scriptures in Daniel talking about one particular king or a succession of rulers in the Edomite kingdom? We're gonna get to the right answer in the scriptures, but I just want to know what you guys are thinking. Anyone? Going once?
What's the question again?
The king that is spoken of in Daniel 8, in the scriptures that we read from 15 all the way down to 26. Is that talking about one particular king or a succession of kings in the kingdom of Edom? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a succession of rulers in Edom.
Cool. Why do you say that?
Because it first started off with the Greeks, right? With Antiochus, and then it moved on to his generals. Then I
Right,
believe later on there's been other people that have come in place in the Edomite kingdom to rule as well. And also they were describing like I guess the ram and the
hmm
different horns and stuff. So
right, right.
those are different people that will come up in history and in this latter time now that are rulers of the Edomite kingdom.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's accurate. All praise to the Most High, right? It's 100% talking about a succession of kings. And you get that straight from the reading, which is great. That's a great observation, sis, right? And if we really, think about this, and we ask ourselves, okay, is this talking about one king? Well, how can it be talking about one king if the king is supposed to destroy the mighty and holy people, cause craft to prosper in his hand throughout time, and also fight Yahweh Shai? If one king has to do that, this person would have to be immortal. You understand? Because they would have done all these things throughout time and still be around to fight Yahweh Shai. So it certainly has to be a succession of kings. And we can easily prove that in the scriptures, right? You guys might want to add this one to your arsenal because, this scripture right here is pretty nice. Let me see here. Where is it? Second Esdras. And we want to go to the 12th chapter. Yeah, the 12th chapter. And then we'll read from 11 to 16. And this proves that it's talking about a succession of kings, right? So you get it from the reading, you add a precept, that's two witnesses now we have. It says, the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea. And this is an angel explaining a vision to Daniel that he had, Ezra that he had, sorry, in chapter 11. Ezra has the vision. In chapter 12, the angel breaks down the vision. And he says to him, listen to this, the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. I'm going to read that again. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. So Yahweh makes the angel tell Ezra plain, oh, this eagle, that's the same beast from the book of Daniel. It's the same goat, the same Greeks, the same Edomites from the book of Daniel, man. The same fourth beast that will be dreadful upon the earth, man. Right? I think that's in Daniel 7. One quick second. I just want to pull that up. Mm-hmm. Daniel 7, from verse 1, it says, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spoke and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. And so he breaks down the beasts, and I just want to read the fourth one. Verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. The residue of who? The residue of the children of Israel. The remnant of the children of Israel that Ezekiel scattered to the wind, man, symbolically, right? And sent a sword after. That's who it's talking about. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. And these beasts were the ram. Daniel E calls the Medo-Persian Empire the ram. Um, and here we have some other animals associated with the beasts. The point being, though, when you read Daniel 7, if you don't have the precepts, this is why I laugh when Christians say, oh, the Bible is not understood in precepts. Well, if you didn't use precepts, how the hell would you know that what this fourth beast is? Because when you read this in the Christian church, they're telling you about a dragon. That's not even real. What dragon? There's no dragon. The translation is even misleading because that's supposed to say serpent. Either because of the way they spoke the 1611 English, their desire to deceive, or both, they put dragon in there when it really says the serpent, man. So when you read here in Daniel 7, you're thinking about a dragon. And they certainly teach that it's a dragon, right? And before hearing their teaching, you're wondering, well, what the hell? What is this beast, man? The thing is, it's dreadful, it's terrible, it has iron teeth, and it's eating people, and it's breaking them in pieces, and it's stamping people out, and it's not a leopard, it's not a lion, and you know, it's not a bear, and what is this thing? Well, the Most High answered the question in Second Esdras, chapter 12, man. He said, the eagle that you saw, Ezra, come up from the sea, oh, that's the same kingdom which your brother Daniel saw. And then he says, but it was not expounded unto him, therefore now I declare it unto thee. This is why the Most High says at the end of Daniel 8, seal up the vision. Some things in the Bible are sealed, man. And people are not allowed to know what it means for a certain time. And then when the time is set, these things are revealed. Which is why in Daniel 12, I believe it says, knowledge shall increase. People are going to go to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Because now is the time for knowledge to increase. We're at the end. In any case, after the angel says to him, now I'll expound it unto you, he says, behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth, and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms that were before it. So this beast was what? It was a kingdom, man. A kingdom has kings in it. The kingdom of Yahweh has kings and queens and princes and princesses. Just same as, I mean, the kings, the kingdoms on earth are a carbon copy of the kingdom of heaven anyway. Yahweh Shai designed the whole thing. They're a shadow of heavenly things. He says in verse 14, in the same shall 12 kings reign, one after another. So this is just proving what the sister was saying. In the same kingdom, 12 kings will reign, one after another. Wherefore, meaning that's why, the second shall begin to reign and shall have more time than any of the 12. And this do the 12 wings signify, which thou sawest. Because Daniel saw an eagle, and the eagle had 12 wings. And so those 12 wings were 12 kings. So this is certainly talking about a kingdom with a succession of kings. Chapter 11, I will back that up as well. So knowing that this is talking about a succession of kings or a succession of rulers, because they call kings other things throughout time. Let's see if a Trump fits the bill, man. Let's see if Trump is one of these rulers. Because after all, the lesson is called What Negroes Need to Know About Donald Trump. Let's see if Trump fits the bill. Is he one of these kings, man? Is he one of these rulers of Edom that the Most High wrote about in the scriptures? One second. Let's go to Job 9 and 24. First question we're going to ask is, well, is he a Greek descendant? One second. Yeah, is he a Greek descendant? Um, yeah, we got to go through this. Job 9:24. Just to remove all questions and all doubts. Um, Go ahead, sister. Go ahead, KK. Read this.
Where am I?
24.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right. So we're trying to figure out if Trump is a descendant of the Greeks, man. Because if you ask Trump if he's a Greek, I mean, chances are he's gonna say no. No, I'm not a Greek. Well, let's see what the Bible says, man. The Bible said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and the wicked cover the faces of the judges or the rulers or the guides thereof. They hide who are the true rulers, who are the true guides spiritually. Well, period, with the foundation of spirituality, the foundation of truth from the scriptures of the Most High. They hide who these people are, man. And they tell you it's the synagogue of Satan, which you can read about in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. They tell you those people are the judges of the earth. And all the Christian churches send them money monthly, man, believing that they're blessing the Israelites when really every day they're condemning the Israelites and they're blessing the devil, man. So the Most High said he gave the earth into the hand of the wicked. Well, who's the wicked? Let's go to Daniel 9:26. Let's get that, Sister Kira.
Okay.
And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself and the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city of the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined.
Right. So who's the wicked? Well, it would be the people of the prince, man. This is a clue. The people of the prince who destroyed the temple after Messiah was killed. And we all know the entirety of history, every historian, no one will deny that it was the Romans. So here in Daniel 9:26, we have the Romans being referred to as the people of the prince. And we certainly know it's not the people of the Prince of Light, who would destroy the temple of the Most High God. Let's go to Revelation 12. We'll read verse 1 to 10. Who is the wicked? Let's get that, KK. And if there's any other people that want to read, you know, let me know.
And brought forth a man child.
You gotta come closer. You gotta come closer to the mic. Actually, I'll read this one. I'll give you the next one, okay? All right. It says, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. She being with child cried, travailing in birth pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red serpent," okay, not dragon, serpent, "having 7 heads," here it is from Daniel again, "and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon its heads." We haven't read that part in Daniel today, but it's in there. You guys can go check it out. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, or the serpent stood before the woman that was ready to be delivered to devour her child as soon as it was born. This is the important part. This same serpent, it stood in front of the woman that was ready to be delivered to devour her child as soon as it was born. Which child? She brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. Her child was caught up unto Yahweh and to his throne. Everybody knows that this child is Yahweh Shai. That's the child that will rule all nations with a rod of iron and went up and sat on the right hand of Yahweh Almighty. So, The serpent that tried to kill that child is none other than Herod the Great. Now, if we look up Herod the Great, we find out that Herod the Great was not only a Roman, he was also an Edomite. So here now we link the Romans with the Edomites. And as we read through this scripture, he's going to link them with the devil, Satan, and he's going to call them the same old serpent. So that will show you, with the information that we already have, the Greek is the same old serpent. The Roman is the same old serpent. The Edomite is the same old serpent, the devil, and Satan. This is all talking about the same people. So therefore, the descendants of these people would be devils, satanic, Edomites. This would be their true identity, which is why God says again, and Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 backs it up, because it tells you there are people today that say they are Jews and are not, but they are the synagogue of Satan, the church of Satan, man, the congregation of Satan. And when you look at these people, they're Edomites. They're so-called Greeks, so-called Romans, man, so-called Europeans, so-called white people, man. Let's read quickly about Herod. Herod the First, or Herod the Great, was a Roman Jewish client king, right? They want to make you believe he was an Israelite. No, he was not. And they'll tell you here, of the Herodian kingdom of Judea. He is known for his colossal building projects throughout Judea. Among these works are the rebuilding of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and the expansion of its base. The Western Wall being part of it. Vital details of his life are recorded in the works of first century Roman Jewish historian Josephus. So now this is so crazy. Praise the Most High that we have the Bible. Because if you just read Esau's history, you're going to think Herod the Great and Josephus were of the same race. But here, it tells you this guy was born in Edom. It tells you that his father was Antipater the Edomite, man. Idumean is another word for Edomite. Look it up. He was the founder, it says Antipater the first Idumean was the founder of the Herodian dynasty and the father of Herod the Great. According to Josephus, he was the son of Antipas and had formerly held that name. A native of Idumea. He was a native of Idumea, in which the Edomites settled during the classical period. Antipater became a powerful official under the later Hasmonean kings and subsequently became a client of the Roman general Pompey when Pompey conquered Judah in the name of the Roman Republic. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all we really need on this guy. And his father was Antipas. Let me see if they have anything on Antipas here. Where is it? Oh, that's not a reference on Antipas. One second. Antipas, Herod's. Oh, All right. Well, you guys can look up this thing in more detail. The point here being, the man was an Edomite, okay? And we know that because the scriptures say that the man was a serpent, man, right? Um, Look, his tail drew the third part. Sorry, there appeared a woman, another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red serpent, man, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon its heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the serpent stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered to devour her child as soon as it was born, man. And that was Herod, the so-called great man, a serpent, a Edomite, right? Now watch this. I'm gonna read on. It said in verse 6, the woman fled into the wilderness where she had a place prepared of Yahweh that they should feed her there 1,260 days. This place in the wilderness where there is no water, water being the word of the Most High, is uh, uh, the west. This is where the majority of the children of Yahweh were sent, man, to be fed there by the Edomites, man. That's why you have some rich Israelites. That's why you have some Israelites, doing well uh, carnally, man. They had to get out of the east, man, and come to the west. That's why we are alive today, you know. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the serpent, and the serpent fought and his angels. This is not literal. Okay, there was no actual war in the heavenly kingdom because because Satan and his angels work for Yahweh. Okay, and that's evident from Isaiah 45:7. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Okay, so this is just a war in the skies, the actual physical war in the skies when Yahushua returns. Okay, with the fighter jets, etc. The great serpent was cast. This is supposed to read down, not out. Cast down. And if you look up the same scripture in Bible Hub Interlinear, it'll show you cast out, down. The great serpent was cast down. What? That old serpent. Hold up. Not a new serpent that just came around. The same old demon was cast down. Oh, by the way, he's called the devil, and he's also called Satan, which means enemy. Devil means slanderer or accuser. Which does what? They deceive the entire world. And he was cast down into the earth, and his angels were cast down with him. And his angels being these damn Christian pastors, these so-called Jewish pastors, all these people teaching you to go and worship the Edomites, man. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God. See that? This is how you know he's talking about the final war and the power of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. You see that? When you look in the interlinear, this phrase here, cast down, will be the exact Greek as the other places where it says cast out. And the other places it was just translated differently, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So here the Romans are equated with devils, man. Satan, the same old serpent. Guys, ready for this? I have a nice one for you. Let's go to Sirach 21. What do we have here? 1 second. Yeah, Sirach 21. Can I get it here? 1611. Whoops, 1611. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 21 and 27. Read this, KK.
When the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth.
Wait, hold on a second. That looks like a V, but that's a U, okay? It's just written in Old English from 1611. So read that again.
When the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul.
Read that one more time, please.
When the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his
It's correct. Just read it again.
his own soul.
Somebody explain that to me, please. Remember, the Most High tell you the Greek is the Edomite. He show you the Roman. He tell you the Greek is the Edomite. You're gonna fight Christ, and we're gonna show that he shows you he's the wicked. All these things we're gonna get into. He tell you the Roman is the devil and Satan, the people of the prince of darkness. When you look into the historical record, you learn that the Romans came from the Greeks. Gotta do some digging, but it's there. And I brought it out before when in my lesson, the true origin of the European. I brought it out in my lesson series. But here, this says something very, very poignant and important. Can somebody tell me, in light of what we're talking about, what this means? What does it mean when it say, when the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul? And the answer is in realizing who the ungodly is. If he calls the so-called Roman the people of the prince of darkness, would they be godly or ungodly? Let's answer that one first. Would they be godly or ungodly if he's calling the so-called Romans the people of the prince of darkness? Go ahead.
Ungodly.
They would be ungodly. So now knowing that the Romans would be ungodly, let's substitute ungodly here with the word Roman. And somebody read that for me, please. Going once, going twice. Sister Kira.
From verse 27.
Yeah. Did you hear what I was saying a second ago?
I did.
Substituting. Okay. So substitute ungodly for Roman because we've established that they would be ungodly. They would be considered ungodly. So go ahead.
When the Roman curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul.
Somebody explain that to me, please. Why is the Bible saying when the Roman cursed Satan, he's cursing his own soul? Somebody explain that to me, please.
Because they have the spirit of evil in them, right? They're ungodly, and Satan is basically like their father. So
That's
they
right.
they cursing themselves when they say whatever they say. Yeah.
Exactly. The Most High is sick, you know. The man say, yo, when this guy cursed Satan, he's cursing himself. Because he's a devil. He's the same serpent. He's cursing. He's the Most High make it deep, you know. Not his own flesh. He said his own soul. He's cursing his own soul because he's a devil himself. That is absolutely crazy, you know. All praise to the Most High for scriptures like this, man. So we know the Roman is equated with Satan. Let's look at the Greek so we can show that these are the same people. Daniel 8:23. In the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full. Remember, when we were reading this, we went to Malachi 1 and verse 4. And the Most High told you he was talking about Edomites when he said, I'm going to show you the last end of the indignation, which we find here in Daniel 8. I'm going to show you the last end of the indignation. He said that indignation was against Edomites. And now he's saying it's against the Greeks. So we got to start seeing the why he's saying that. And it's because they're the same people. Here he calls the Greeks the transgressors, man. Did the Most High call Israel the transgressors, man? Yeah, that's the title. Israel, the transgressors. Did he say Ham, the transgressors? Or Ishmael, the transgressors? No. But he called the Greeks the transgressors. Another word would be the ungodly. Another word would be the wicked. Another phrase would be the people against whom the Most High have indignation forever. I hope you guys are seeing the pattern. A transgressor is a sinner, man. A person committed to sin. Even Malachi 1:4 tell you that they shall be called the border of wickedness. Meaning you can't get more wicked than them. And the people against which the Most High have indignation forever. Now, a person might still doubt, so let me tie it together for you with the perfect link. Now, we've done this many times before, so I won't spend too much time on it, but, you know, fortunately for us, and all praise to the Most High, it's quite easy to link it up. Maccabees 5:3. We already talked about how Antiochus was being uh, fought by the Maccabees. Uh, Antiochus was oppressing the Maccabees, and indeed, the First Maccabees, the first four chapters is all about that um, group of wars known as the Maccabean Revolt. Even the scholars write about it. After the Maccabean Revolt, this is what our brother Judah had to say about fighting the Greeks. He said, it, the chronicler of the event said, then Judah fought against the children of Esau, man, in Idumea at Arbatine because they besieged Israel, man. And this whole time the brother was fighting Greeks, quote unquote. And he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils, man. So even though the scriptures was calling them Greeks, the writer lets you know these guys were Edomites. So the Greeks are Edomites, and the Romans are Edomites. Therefore, their what do you call it? Their offspring, their uh what do you call I'm lost for the word. Their descendants are also Edomites. Here in verse 61 of First Maccabees chapter 4, this is after Judah fought the war against the Greeks. I'll go from 59. It says, moreover, Judah and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel uh, ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness. At that time also they builded up Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against who? Idumea, man. Idumea is who? Idumea is Edom. Idumea and Edom, two related but distinct terms, relate to a historically contiguous population. Contiguous. Adjacent, neighboring, adjoining, bordering. That's a load of malarkey. They're the exact same people. Look, it tells you here the name Idumea is Greek and means land of the Edomites. Like, come on, man. So what are you guys really trying to write here, man? Again, this is why I'm so grateful we have the scriptures. Because these guys will always have a deceit in their works. Edomites settled in Idumea after the Babylonians conquered Judah. Because before, they were in the caves of Mount Seir. We covered that already in the true origin of the European, right? Look at this. Herod the Great was an Idumean from Bible Odyssey. So Judah let us know that the whole time he was defending us from Edomites, man. So the Greeks are Edomites and the Romans are Edomites. The Greeks and Romans are the same people. They're all Edomites, devils, Satan, the same old serpent. When they curse Satan, they curse their own soul. Because that's their father. So, is Trump a descendant? What else do I got here? This is good. I think this is, mm, yeah, okay. So again, we're trying to figure out if Trump is a Greek descendant, right? We already showed the Greeks are the devil and Satan and all of these things. So when the scriptures tell you the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, that would be the earth is given into the hand of the damn Edomites, man. You know, that's who the wicked are, right? Let's just beat that horse to death and see. Yeah, and then I think that'll take us to the end of today. Yeah, and then we can wrap up next Shabbat. So in case anybody is doubting, oh, well, who's the wicked? Well, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Look and see who the earth is, whose hands the earth is in, right? But moreover, we got precepts, man. We got precepts showing who these people are. So we established the Greeks and Romans, they're Edomites, devils, Satan. Now we need to establish if these so-called Europeans are these people. We have one clue already. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. We're going to look at who is ruling the world with receipts. But let's go through these couple scriptures. We'll read verse 11 and 12 here. Let me get that. Whose turn is it? Is it Sister Kira? Sister Kira, let me get that, please. 11 and 12, and then we'll jump down and read 22 to 25.
You can hear me, I can read, but I'm at the library. But if you can hear me clear, let me know.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, you want me to read or you want Sister Kira to read at this time?
No, that's good. You can read, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, verses 11 and 12.
Yeah, and then you'll read 22 to 25.
Okay, so the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of the brother Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not expounded unto him. Therefore, now I declare it unto thee.
Right. So again, we reiterating that the Most High is explaining a division of the fourth beast to Daniel, man. Right? And now he's calling the fourth beast an eagle, which everybody knows is America's symbol. Not only is it America's symbol, it's also the symbol of Russia. You understand? And when you look in the symbols basically of all these Edomite kingdoms, the eagle is always there. They absolutely love the eagle. The chief being America. So go ahead with 22 to 25, please.
And whereas thou sawest three heads resting, this is an interpretation. In his last days shall the Most High rise up three kingdoms and renew many things therein, and they shall have the dominion of the earth.
So stop right there, bro. Listen to this, family. It says, in the last days, Yahweh gonna raise up three kingdoms, and he gonna renew many things in the earth. And he said, these three kingdoms, they will have dominion of the entire earth. So when you go do your look for your receipts, you need to find three kingdoms that rule the entire world. Okay? And we're gonna look at them, right? Go ahead, keep reading.
And of those that dwell therein, which with much oppression above
Mhm,
all those that were before them.
mhm.
Therefore, are they called the heads of the eagle.
So stop right there. The Most High tell you, not only are these kingdoms ruling, they're ruling with much oppression. And then he says, above everybody that was before them. They oppressing people more than everybody that came before them. And he said, oh, that's why they're called the heads of the eagle. Remember, Daniel was talking about the Greeks. Now we know the Greeks are the eagle. We found out the Greeks are the Romans. They're the devils, they're Satan, they're the same old serpent. Now he tells you they're the eagle. When you have eyes to see, it's right in your face. He made them show it. He makes them show their teeth at all times. But you must be looking at the mouth to see the damn teeth. You know? Give me a 25.
For these are they that shall accomplish his wickedness, and that shall finish his last end.
Right. So these three kingdoms are the kingdoms that will be in existence at the end of the world, man. To destroy, to finish the wickedness of the Edomites, man, and to get the Most High to fulfill his indignation against them. Right? So watch this. Let's go to verse 40 in chapter 11. So let's see. So this is the kingdom that will rule with much oppression. Coming straight out of the scriptures. I hope you guys are seeing. This is not my interpretation. I'm just going to the scriptures to show you guys how I got this information. It's right there in the book. Go ahead. Verse 40.
And forth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the world, and over the whole compass of the earth, with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
Right. So the fourth beast which we saw was the kingdom of the Greeks. The Most High says that they overcame all the beasts that were past. They had power over the whole entire world with great fearfulness and wicked oppression. Okay? And they dwelt a long time upon the earth with deceit. Remember, Daniel also says in the latter time of their kingdom, they're going to do all these things, and then that same Greek kingdom is going to fight against Prince of Princes, who is Yahushua. So these same people are here and ruling today. So what we have to ask ourselves is, who the hell is ruling the world right now with much wicked oppression? Right? Well, let's have a look. Let's go to, I have a couple receipts here. Where are they? All right. Who is ruling the world right now with much wicked oppression? This is from ForbesIndia.com. This is an article about the top 10 most powerful countries in the world, okay, in 2025. And wouldn't you know it, right at the top is the United Snakes of America. Number 2 is China, and number 3 is Russia. Russia is very significant in the end of the world, and we'll probably not have time to get into it today, but we'll thoroughly explore it next Shabbat. The point here being, the number 1 most powerful country in the world is the United States of America. The Most High lets us know that the devils, the satanic, the serpents will be ruling the world with much wicked oppression. He said they have three kingdoms. Can anybody guess what the three kingdoms were? They're here in the top four. Can anyone call them? There we go. Alrighty. Anyone care to take a stab? The three kingdoms. The three eagles on this list. Go ahead.
America, Asia, and Europe.
Three eagles. They're supposed to be running the entire thing. Three eagles.
Sorry, is it based on the list that you're showing or no?
Well, yeah, I'm showing the receipts because this is real data in 2025 of who's running the world. The most powerful economies in the world are the ones running the world. I have another receipt as well to even show you guys that to even show you guys that that's who's running things more than economics as a matter of world power, as a matter of geopolitics. It's going to show the same people, right? But just based on this list dealing with economics, which is a huge indicator for who's running the place, where are the three eagles in this list?
Oh, so that's United States, China, and Russia.
Is China an eagle? Remember, they're all supposed to be Edomites. They're all supposed to be Greeks. They're all supposed to be Romans.
So be the UK then?
So give me the three then.
United States, Russia, and United Kingdom.
It's literally that. Yahweh said three kingdoms would be running things. That's the three kingdoms running things. United Snakes, Russia, and the UK. That's who it is. That's the three heads of the eagle. The UK colonized the entire world. They split into the United Snakes for the West and Russia for the East, and then them in the middle. Three heads, one eagle. The data is right in front of us. China is even mentioned in the scripture as well, the Japhites. The Most High says they want to be like Edom, and He's gonna punish them for it. And even the data shows they want to be like Edom. I mean, if you pay attention to the world news and geopolitics, everyone's saying China is next. China is not next. Israel is next, not China. Because the truth is, China and Russia are going to destroy the United States, and then Yahweh Shai will destroy Russia. That's how it's going to go down according to the scriptures. And the UK is dead already. They don't have no army. None, the queen died, all of that, which hopefully we can get into next Shabbat. So let me see what I have on the other receipt. So that was a Western leaning media outlet, Forbes, right? So let's look at something that's from the East. This is from China Daily. Global South and negative impact of unipolarity. So this is them writing essentially about the problem with the whole world being run by the United States of America. Okay. By their conglomerate under NATO, the North American Trade Organization. So it says here, After World War II, the establishment of the Bretton Woods institutions and the United Nations heralded the first ever global security and economic order. I'm going to read that again, family. After World War II, the establishment of the Bretton Woods institutions and the United Nations heralded the first ever global security. That means war, armies, fighting, and economic order. What is America the head of? The global security and economic order. This is why things are traded in American money. This is why America shares their debt with the entire world so they can give Ukraine however many billions they want, because everybody has to pay for it. This is why America has 700 or so bases around the entire planet, because it's their world. You know, the Most High says here, sorry, the rest of the reading says, heralded the first ever global security and economic order, and the emergence of the former Soviet Union as an ideological rival. That's the second head of the eagle, which we'll read about probably next service at this point in time. They were the ideological rival, prevented the United States from exercising uncontested hegemony, which is leadership. Okay, so the Soviet Union, one head of the eagle, prevented the United States from just having an uncontested rule over the entire world. However, what's the difference between the Soviet Union and Russia, the United States and the UK, according to the Most High? There's no difference. They're all Edomites. They're all the same old serpent family. It says, this changed when the Soviet Union ceased to exist in December 1991, because they mashed it up. All international institutions fell under the political and ideological sway of the US and its allies. Okay, that's that beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. 7 heads being the G7, and the 10 horns, they are the nations. It says, and its allies. For the next quarter of a century, 25 years, the West pervade its values, political institutions. Who? The West. The eagle on the left-hand side, the head on the left. There was a head on the left, there's a head on the right, and there's one in the middle, a big head. The West pervade its values, political institutions, economic models, security organizations, and the worst, their cultural norms as what? Inexorable destiny, the inexorable destiny of all mankind. America pushed its political institutions, economic models, security organizations, and cultural norms as the inexorable destiny of all mankind, family. Before them, the English did it, that by colonizing the entire world. And before them, Alexander the Great did it by colonizing the entire world. I hope you see the pattern. Some people say the Edomites are the Arabs. There is zero record of the Arab consistently, systematically running the world generation to generation. So that's complete hogwash. Reading on, it says, No society could find stability, develop its economy, or make social progress except within the framework of the so-called liberal democracy, the market economy, and Western notions of freedom and human rights. How does this translate spiritually? You can't escape the ego. You must be under the talon of the ego. The ego will devour you. They will rule the world with much wicked oppression. Craft, trickiness will prosper in their hand. So based on these two receipts, all right, based on the scriptures and linking it up with the real world with these two receipts, and if you search all day, you're gonna find it all day. Just more receipts showing you that that's what's good. These are the people. We can ask, what does America, Greece, and Rome's leadership all have in common? Well, they're Edomites. They are the devil. They are Satan. They are the border of wickedness, as it says in Malachi 1, verse 4. They are the wicked of the earth that the world is given into the hands of. If the Persian was ruling the world with much wicked oppression, the Persian would be the wicked, according to the scriptures. If it was the African would be the wicked. If it was the Arab would be the wicked. But it's not. It's the so-called European. That's who's ruling the world with much oppression. The Most High said they are Greeks. He said they are Romans. He said they're Edomites. The Edomites are the ones who are the wicked of the earth. That being said, is Trump a Greek descendant? That's what we were looking at. Is Trump a Greek descendant? Is Trump an Edomite? We'll look at this last point and then we'll wrap up. Is Trump an Edomite? This is quick. Is Trump a descendant of the so-called white man, the European, the Greek, the Roman, the devil, Satan, the Edomite? Well, let's have a look. Donald J. Trump, born on June 14th, 1946 at Jamaica Hospital in the New York City borough of Queens, the fourth child of Fred Trump and Mary Ann MacLeod Trump. He is of German and Scottish descent. This is his father, an Edomite. Frederick Christ Trump Sr. was an American real estate developer and businessman, father of the 45th and 47th U.S. President, Donald Trump. His father, Frederick Trump, a German-American businessman. He was the patriarch of the Trump family and the paternal grandfather of the 45th and 47th U.S. President, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a so-called European, a Greek, a Edomite, the devil, and Satan. And for today, that's what you need to know about Donald J. Trump. So next week, Lord willing, we will continue the study because there's a few other points that we got to bring out to show not just his identity in the scriptures, but also what he is actually meant to do to America. All right. So with that, all praises to the Most High. I'm going to stop the recording. If anybody has any questions, they can ask. Otherwise, we are going to pray, blow the trumpet, pray, and be out. For those who joined us online, of course, if you want to learn the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, be sure to subscribe to our page, our channel or whatever. Stay in touch, basically. To So to all you Negroes, man, return to your God, your law, statutes, and commandments. This is not a religious book, okay? It's not for Christianity or Judaism. It's to teach you the law, statutes, and commandments of your God. Return to it, or you will surely perish along with this fallen kingdom. To the people who are not Israelites, keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, for he designed this wisdom to be taught to the peoples of the earth who desire wisdom by the hand of the children of Israel, and that's Psalm 147, verse 19 and 20, and many other scriptures. And to the Edomites, the Most High has reserved you to death and destruction, and according to the book of Obadiah, you shall surely have it at his hand. So all praise to the Most High, and see you guys in the next lesson. 1 second.